We've always wanted to be a place where we didn't just tell you the answers, but we asked questions so that you for yourself processed information and weren't just told this is what you have to believe or this is what your opinion must be.
Religious freedom is not a political tactic or an evangelistic tool. It's not a political football. Religious freedom is a basic human need.
This particular approach did produce, in less than a year, vaccines that are safe and effective. That's never been done before in less than about 5 years. And shouldn't we be celebrating that? I know people worry that means you cut corners. Believe me, as the NIH director, the only corners we cut were getting the bureaucratic steps out of the way that normally slow the process down. There was no corners cut about safety.
When you go at warp speed, you do cut corners, okay?
This year, thinking for ourselves has gotten a little more complicated. Fear comes in and we react, right? Our brains just go into this fight or flight mode. Sometimes we freeze. Critical thinking has been something that's in some ways been pushed to the sidelines.
We really want that spirit of discernment. How do we actually navigate what is true, what isn't true? That's the thing about deception, right? You don't know if it's a lie or if it's true.
When you make bold, courageous calls upon your people to obedience to Christ, that it flourishes your church.
If we're the ecclesia, I feel like we need to start putting the ek in it. We can't expect people just to go into the church. We are the church. The church is not a building, it's an organism, it's us. So we have to step out into the environments that we're called to.
Like, I'm trying to tell anyone who will listen right now that this is our moment. Like, we're built for the church. Jesus Christ is built for this. Like, the darker it gets, the nastier it looks, the more confusing it is. That's our moment.
The reason I had to do the things the way I did and choose to relinquish my privacy and my family's privacy and to put the details of my assault out on an international platform was because we do have such a problem culturally with being able to recognize abuse and stop abusers. And that extends significantly, unfortunately, into our law enforcement and into our legal practice, our prosecutorial work.
And I invite you to center Black voices because you'll find pain, but not just pain, you'll find power.
Everything that we know about Chinese surveillance is the potential for exporting this, for adopting some aspects of this, even in a democratic society, is real and frightening.
And my heart was filled with hope, really, when I turned off the news and I just opened my heart to my neighbor. And I found out that they weren't the evil devil that I had made them out to be. And they actually were not my enemy. They're my brother and they're my sister.
I believe young people, thinking people, that this hope is not anti-science. It isn't science fiction because it's as sure as the resurrection was sure in the past.
As the church, as Christians, we must be those who carry truth right now. We cannot be those that are manipulated by media, manipulated by governments. We are people of Scripture. We are people of the Word. We stand on truth that surpasses this moment, surpasses this time, will stand the test of time, but that just might require a bit of courage.
So God, who has arranged human history, who has determined the very time and place that you should live, when he's mapping out your destiny and human history, he says, you here now. You are the people Jesus trusts more than any of the saints in history to get us through this moment.
The good news is that the darkness has already been flooded by that marvelous light, right? And God is illuminating the path before us already. But it is our responsibility to take those steps and walk in that light. We hold in each hand two of the holiest tasks: the Great Commission to make disciples and the greatest commandment to love. May we resolve to do both.